Appeals for Harrison Township for, let me get the right date here, for June 11th will come to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Gleason.
Mr. Brado?
Here.
Mr. Gleason? Here. Mr. Leonetti? Here. Ms. Soparka?
Here.
Ms. Torp?
Here. The next agenda item is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, is there discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approved. The next item is approval of minutes. Have you received the minutes in your packet? And have you any changes to the first page,
No.
to the second page? Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The minutes are approved. Mr. Gleason, would you read the first case, please?
Yes, case number 05-24, Wesley Howell at 41576 Clearpoint, property number 17-12-16-229-002. He is requesting a 10% impervious surface variance from Article 14, Section 14.09 to install a concrete patio. And then just for the board and the record, Wesley is a brother-in-law to me, and so therefore I'll be abstaining from the vote tonight. However, because I'm very familiar with the property, I'll probably add some additional commentary to help from our perspective.
You're welcome to do so, Mr. Gleason. So, who will be presenting the case? Would you please go to the podium and give your name and address, sir, for the record?
Wesley Howell, 41576 Clearpoint. So I'm requesting the 10% impervious surface variance beyond the 45% to 55% to put in a 600 square foot patio. I'm currently, if you look at the top of the updated survey I gave you, with the concrete driveway and walk, the existing house, that takes me to 5977. That divided by 12,000 takes me to 49.8% of the impervious surface. So I'm already over the actual limit. Adding 600 square foot would take me up to just short of 55%, which would altogether take me above 10%. 45% allowed. My intentions are to put this patio in, and within the following year, roughly, I would be removing the driveway, as that is also a safety hazard. Unlevel concrete and things like that. When I redo that driveway, it would take me to roughly around 2,100 square feet. I think it's 2115 is what I could put in, which would leave me a 2-lane driveway coming up, and I could have 3 vehicles, and that would bring me under 45% altogether for the property. I did explore alternative options other than the patio. The patio roughly is running me around $10,000. That's materials and labor. I looked into Trex decking, and materials alone would add on 50%. I'd be roughly around $15,000 just for material, not even labor. So that's the case that I'm presenting to you guys. I would like to install this patio.
How soon do you think it'll be before you start working on the driveway?
The driveway wouldn't happen until at least 2025. I mean, my wife and me saved up a long time to get into a home like this. So we sunk a decent amount of our money into this. We already have put money into the home already between gutters, trees that I had taken down. The survey itself was $400, so it's not been a cheap process on top of the $400 to have this.
Welcome to home ownership.
No kidding. Yeah, so rough, I would like to say 2025. It all depends on how work goes well for me.
Within the next 5 years, at least, you think?
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
I have no questions. It's unfortunate that you have to pay $400 knowing that you're going to be below within 5 years, but
Right.
it's,
That would be one of my questions, and I don't know, Melody, if you can answer this, and this is my bad, I should have sent an email to Brent to ask this question. When the driveway is redone, he would still have to come for a variance if he wanted to keep it as is,
Correct.
right?
Absolutely, or else the permit wouldn't be issued.
Okay, so there's no, like, he's grandfathered.
Hang on,
because he's
so
already got
I
it.
just want to make sure clear, you're saying when the driveway is done, are you saying when the driveway is done under 2,100 square feet to keep me under 45%? Or were you saying if I redid it with the existing
I'm saying
driveway?
if you were like, I'm gonna get my driveway redone and
Want to keep
Is
this
that-
footprint?
and you want to keep it exactly as is, would you still be required to stay in that 45%? I believe the answer is yes.
Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
a,
Yes.
it's a part of the impervious surface
Okay.
calculation.
It is.
Right. He's gonna, my understanding within the next 5 years is that you're gonna actually reduce that driveway space that's there.
Correct,
right?
yeah, the driveway right now is at 30, where is it at? 3,329, or 3,329 square feet. I'd be bringing it down to 2,115 square feet is what I believe the number was. So,
Would he have to come in front of us for that if he, I don't think so.
Oh,
If he's
we-
gonna
Not if
reduce
he's
it, right?
under
That
If
would-
it's gonna be
45.
under 45%,
If it's under 45%.
then
Right.
Okay.
he would not have to come for a variance.
Okay.
You would just have to work with the
Which I
building
think it
department.
sounds like that's
It's
what
gonna
your
be under-
goal
that
is.
would be the plan, unless you guys want to approve a variance in a year or two to put in this driveway. But I also, that's going to be a lot of money, so I don't, smaller drive.
Any other questions from the board? Thank you, sir. If you want to take your seat, we'll go into board discussion.
So the only other commentary I'll add here is that this deck is, it was in complete disrepair, it was completely unsafe, so certainly needed to be replaced. If you look at this drawing here, I mean, you've got it's an 80-foot lot, and this driveway is about 50 feet wide at the house. And then it's also 3 cars wide, so it's three cars wide by 4 cars wide north, or east-west, and then 3 north-south. So then if you go to the circle part of it, it's 2 cars wide, the whole entire circle. To replace this, to the petitioner's point, I'm guessing it would be 70 or 80,000. I mean, it would be a significant amount of money to
Yeah.
replace that as is. And then, Ms. Parker, to your point, yes, to be able to get a permit approved, he would need to be back within the 45% compliance. So I think that gives us a bit of control in the matter. And the last thing I'll say is that, being a person who's walked this driveway, there are several tripping hazards because of not only a tree that's caused some issue here at the corner of the driveway that's now been taken out, but just because of the overall age of the driveway. Now, this particular end of the street is very desirable in the neighborhood. The whole neighborhood's very nice. But this particular end of the street is, there's a lot of pressure to keep your house up, and I know that these guys, having known them for as long as I have, will do just that, and part of that upkeep will be to replace this driveway.
I mean, you can see on the street view what it looked like when you purchased it, so you can see the driveway is in disrepair.
The other thing to note is he's already over the 50%, right? So it's not his fault, you know what I mean? He's already over to some extent, so, right, yep.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve. And in part, I'm going to rely on 2 factors. One is he's already over, so that's something that wasn't his fault to begin with, number 1, under the ordinance. And number 2, he's given us, not necessarily a promise, but a plan that within the next 5 years, he's going to actually reduce his driveway such that he'll actually be in conformance with the ordinance. So given that, I'm going to approve.
I'll support that.
Mr. Gleason, would you take roll?
Yes, Mr. Leonetti,
Yes.
Mr. Brado,
Yes.
Mr. Gleason abstain, Ms. Oparka,
Yes.
Ms. Torp.
Yes. Congratulations.
That's,
Brent will.
You'll work with
be
Brent
able- yeah.
Condon,
Yeah, I'll follow up.
our zoning person.
you're okay
You
to
are
leave?
free to leave, sir.
Thank you all.
Let us know when the party is for the patio. You too.
Is there any old business? New business? Announcements? Public comments? The next meeting is July 9th. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned.
See anything in the future, but if I had to miss a meeting,